I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Monday, July the 1st, 2013. The American citizen who was killed on Friday in Egypt has been identified as Andrew Proctor, a 21-year-old Jewish student from Chevy Chase, Maryland. As you may have seen on IBA News, deadly clash has erupted in Egypt's port city of Alexandria on Friday during protests against Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi, and several people were reported killed, among them Proctor. The 21-year-old student was reportedly stabbed to death by a protester. Initial reports say Proctor was a bystander filming some of the protests on his phone. Proctor was to begin his junior year at Kenyon College in Ohio this fall. He was co-manager of his school's Hillel and motivated by a desire to encourage peace and democracy in the Middle East. He had gone to Egypt this summer after spending time in Morocco and falling in love with the region, and had plans to spend his spring semester in Jordan. Proctor was in Egypt teaching English to elementary school children. His family released a statement about their son, saying he went to Egypt because he cared profoundly about the Middle East, and he planned to live and work there in the pursuit of peace and understanding. Meanwhile, Israel's President Shimon Peres addressed the situation in Egypt today during a meeting with visiting Italian Prime Minister Enrico Valletta. Peres said, "We do not know how events in Egypt will develop, and we hope they settle down soon." The Jerusalem Post reports that Israel police and border police officers arrested a Palestinian woman this morning who they said was on her way to carry out a stabbing attack at the Tomb of the Patriarchs in Hebron. Border police said that under investigation, the 22-year-old woman, who is from the Hebron area, admitted that she planned to carry out an attack at the site. She had been stopped by officers outside the tomb, who upon searching her found 2 kitchen knives and a box cutter. The same woman was reportedly arrested a year ago for plotting another attack and was only released from prison a few months ago. Well, a week and a half after vandals spray-painted hateful anti-Arab slogans on the walls of the Arab village of Abu Ghosh and slashed the tires of 28 cars there, hundreds of Arab and Jewish teenagers met in the village in an effort to promote dialogue and coexistence. The meeting held last night follows a, quote, price tag attack in the village on June the 18th. Random retribution or price tag attacks like these against Palestinians mostly involve property damage such as arson and vandalism and are thought to be carried out by a small minority of Jewish extremists. Israel's Education Minister Shai Piron spoke at the meeting yesterday to a crowd of nearly 800, where he referred to the June 18th attack, calling it a disgraceful incident in which villains try to destroy our society from within, he said. But if it weren't for their actions, we would not be sitting here together to create dialogue. 16-year-old Tamam Abed El Rahman, who is head of the student council in Abu Ghosh, said this dialogue is meant to help us find a way to improve the relations between us and act in a manner that is respectful of everyone. Meanwhile, Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon announced today that planning and perpetrating price tag acts are now to be defined as illegal organizing, a legal clause that was up until now used for Islamic terror operatives. Ya'alon is set to implement this new legal clause within the next few days, allowing the Shin Bet, Israel's security agency, more tools to combat the phenomenon. An Argentine court has ordered the investigation of Argentina's ex-interior minister for possible ties to the 1994 terror attack at the Jewish Center in Buenos Aires that killed 85 people. The Buenos Aires Federal Appeals Court last week ordered the probe of Carlos Vladimir Korach, who is Jewish, in connection with an illegal payment he allegedly made of $400,000 to Carlos Teleldin. Teleldin allegedly provided the car bomb that blew up the Jewish Center in 1994. The court called for the investigation, saying that there were allegations involving Korach, which had not been investigated before. And finally today, the Times of Israel reports, citing ESPN's Mark Stein, that Israeli basketball player Gal Mekel has reached a verbal agreement with the Dallas Mavericks. 25-year-old Mekel is a point guard for Maccabi Haifa, whom he recently led to the Israeli championship. The 3-year deal with the Mavericks, which reportedly will be signed on July the 10th, would make Mikel only the second Israeli basketball player to reach the NBA. The first being forward Omri Caspi, who was drafted 23rd in 2009 by the Sacramento Kings and has since played for the Kings and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Monday, July the 1st, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.